Men don't actually understand that if they're quiet, they could get so much more attention from women. But somehow one belief sticks around like an old stain on a bedsheet. Women want loud and outgoing men. And that's so weird because you are actually saying with that, everything I am is not what women want. So why try it all? In this video you will see why being quiet can be your biggest strength with women. How you can stop sabotaging yourself and start making your quiet nature work for you. And why the quiet guys who are successful aren't different from you. They just do this one thing differently. But why should you listen to me? Well, over the last 12 years, I helped hundreds of shy and single men develop unshakable confidence and attract the right kind of women into their lives so that they are happy singles now who date amazing women all over the world, or are in a loving and deep relationship with a one and are finally the man that they always wanted to be. But before we start, we need to understand something about your quietness. You probably thought that being quiet is the reason why it just doesn't work with women. And then you formed the belief that a man has to be outgoing and loud. And then you maybe also found evidence for that because you just didn't see any woman with a man that is just like you. So you assume that being quiet means that you will be forever alone. This is just a trick your mind plays on you. A client of mine came to me and talked about all the loud and outgoing guys on YouTube that talk about how to behave around a woman and that you have to do X and Y. And he compared himself to this and tried to talk to women like this. But it always felt wrong. Like he always needed to impress and show off and could never be himself. But his nature is being observant, deep, and caring about others. And this is perfect for forming deep and genuine connections with women. You just need to pay attention to one major thing. And what that is, we will see now. Here's why I disagree with the idea that being outgoing is the only way to stand out. If you've ever seen one of these, if you're in the US, probably not, because they're banned for reasons. But here's the thing about a Kinder Surprise. It's not flashy. It doesn't scream for attention. But the moment you pick it up and give it a bit of a shake, you wonder what's inside. And that little shake is you showing up, engaging, even just a little bit. It's not about being the loudest and taking up all the space. It's about making your presence known in a simple, subtle way. A glance, a smile, or a small comment can be enough to spark curiosity. Now let me just stop you right here if you're thinking, but I don't know how to shake the egg. And by that you probably mean, what if I freeze when I try to connect? Don't worry. You don't have to turn into a social butterfly to spark that curiosity. And I'm going to show you exactly how you do this in a way that feels completely natural to you, even if talking to people has always been hard for you. What is this? Here's the key. Women are naturally drawn to men that have an air of mystery. But it's not just the quietness, it's the presence behind it. When a quiet guy makes even small efforts like holding eye contact, a genuine smile, or saying something thoughtful, it signals, hey, here's something worth noticing. And here's something most people don't realize. Outgoing doesn't always mean authentic. A lot of outgoing guys rely on superficial charm or over-the-top energy to get attention. And sure, it grabs people in that moment, but it can quickly feel insincere or even exhausting. And women can sense when someone is performing rather than being real. Quietness, on the other hand, often signals authenticity. Think about it. When you're not trying to dominate a room or being the loudest voice, it says, I'm comfortable with who I am. Now here's the real magic. Quiet presence is memorable. A loud guy might get your attention for a moment, but it fades quickly. As a quiet guy, though, you leave an impression by the way you make people feel calm, safe, and truly seen. These days, attention is everything, and women are drawn to that because you stand out in a room full of attention grabbers, in a room full of noise and competition, especially in clubs or bars. Think about it this way. Presence is about two things. First, being comfortable in your own skin, and second, making people feel they matter. Here's why I think overanalyzing everything you say or do is actually killing your chances with women. When you overthink, it's like you're trying to run while holding your breath. So you tense up and everything feels harder than it should. The problem is when you're stuck in your head, this is you by the way, you're not really present. You're not really there. You're too busy trying to calculate the right thing to say. And as a result, you come off as stiff. And here's the truth. Conversations aren't exams. And women aren't keeping score on how well you performed. The less you overthink, the more natural and confident you seem. But overthinking isn't just about words. A lot of quiet guys make it actually worse by trying to be someone they're not. They think they have to be outgoing and crack jokes or be dominant in a conversation to get noticed. Let's be honest, you probably tried this before too. And how did it feel? Forced? Awkward? That's because it wasn't you. Pretending to be someone you're not is like trying to wear someone else's clothes. It might look good on them, but they won't look good on you. And women are highly attuned to authenticity. And when you're not being genuine, it just shows. The good news is that you don't need to be loud and extroverted to connect with women. In fact, your quiet nature can be your greatest asset if you know how to use it. And we will now look into how to become that version of yourself. Because here's the thing, quiet guys that are successful with women aren't fundamentally different from you. They don't have some secret personality trait you lack or some magical ability to talk endlessly.
Say what?
The difference is they learn to own their quiet nature and turn it into a strength. Instead of seeing quietness as something to fix or hide, they use it to create intrigue and connection. They know that being calm, observant, and thoughtful makes them stand out in a world full of loud guys. And most importantly, they focus on what really matters. Connection, not perfection. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever worried so much about saying the perfect thing that you ended up saying nothing at all? Successful quiet guys don't fall into that trap because they understand something powerful. It's not about the words, it's about the presence behind them. They don't try to dominate the conversation or try to fill every silence. Instead, they show up fully engaged. They listen, respond with intention, and make the person they are listening to feel valued. And this creates a sense of calm confidence that is extremely attractive. So how do you start implementing this for yourself? How do you lead with presence instead of words and focus on meaningful connections? Well, that's exactly what you get in this video.